Hello everyone, welcome back to Crafty Concepts with Erin. I'm very excited to be creating with this new collection from close to my heart today. This is called Let's Go Anywhere, and it has this amazing sticker sheet. It's travel themed, but because of the colors, I think it's going to be so great for outdoor adventures also. And yeah, I'm super excited because I have tons of photos to document that will go so well. So this paper, you can see if you look up close, it has like a map, and the other side is this blue pattern here. Now let me scoot these aside. This one is kind of a little grid, and then this one has tiny little airplanes with the swirls following behind them. I love that. These fun pattern papers here have all of the travel themed icons on one side with the blue background, and then this little row of passports on the opposite side. I think the passports are super cute. So along with this collection, there is a workshop guide. So it comes with some bonus pattern papers and the cardstock that you would need to create the pre-designed layouts. So you get a couple of these two different patterns, then the various colors of cardstock there. And what really sold me on this particular workshop is this stamp. It's the background and texture of the maps, which you guys know I love my background stamps. This is going to be a double page layout, so I've got both my VersaMats, so it just helps me line everything up and keep it in frame for you. I am envisioning a frame style design, so this is toffee cardstock. And now I've got several photos. This is of our trip to Alaska, and kind of a funny story. Everybody insisted we go see this plane wreckage, and it actually had a really cool story behind it. If you go online, you can read even more of the details, and it's kind of amazing how much of it is still there and preserved. So this is a photo of all the details. It talks about the survivors and the dates and all of the important information for the story. So I've got some white daisy cardstock here. Actually, this is vanilla. And I'm not sure if I'm going to go with this or pattern paper. I've got an idea, but let's just kind of bring this in first while we decide on the photo placement. I'm envisioning a column over here on the right-hand side. I have several photos that are landscape orientation, and I'm also paying attention to the color red in the photos, making sure that that is distributed evenly throughout the design. I think this looks good. This is something we could definitely go with here. I know I want to use this map pattern paper. It is a city map, but I feel the colors just really lend themselves well to hiking photos. So if you're hiking in the forest or anything like that, or just camping, any outdoor activity, this map paper is going to go very well. If you caught my catalog walkthrough, they even used it for a fishing layout, and it looked awesome. So the opposite side of the map paper is this one here. It's kind of this sapphire and periwinkle, very subtle pattern, and I don't know if I want to hide all that behind the photos. I might bring in some solid cardstock instead, but let me get these cut down here. So I'll get these trimmed down to size. For the left-hand side, I did trim this piece to 8 1/4 inches tall. I'm not sure about the width yet. So for now, it's still the full 12 inches, and I will trim it down once I kind of figure out my photo placement here. I've got that open space in the photo, so I think I will kind of overlap these a little bit, and then this 3x4 fits in that space nicely. Rather than use that pattern paper, I did cut a panel of sapphire blue cardstock. This is 5.5 by 12. Now, my photos are not 4x6, so if you have true 4x6 photos, you would need to make this column a little bit wider to accommodate your photos. And then I have a little bit more of the matte paper to make that look like one continuous piece going across the double page layout and tie those sides in together. I am considering using this pattern paper with the planes. I love the other side, but I think this would add a ton of interest rather than that vanilla border around my photo block. I love that it has the planes and it has like the little swirly trail, so it's almost like us hiking along the trail or the path to find the plane. So I feel like it really ties into the story behind the photos. I went ahead and got everything cut off camera, and I did gut out that piece behind there. And then for the right-hand side, this just kind of butts up to the blue cardstock there, leaving that 1/4 inch frame around the top, right, and bottom of that piece. If you have additional photos, you could very easily add them to that area over on the right. Now I'm ready for the fun embellishing process, and I want to start with my title. I've got this adventure sticker here or this collect memories. Either one would work, but I think I kind of like the adventure sticker. So I went ahead off camera and tapped the back of that with my anti-static powder tool to remove the adhesive. And then since I've been flipping through this routinely, I know I had these tags in here with journaling lines. So I've got some in this shortbread color and then also just white here left over from other workshops I've done in the past. So I do have kind of a bigger story to tell. I could use this one, but there's also this option. You know what? I like the shortbread. And since I introduced that to the right-hand side, we can use some of these other pieces just to add that color to the left-hand side of the layout. It feels so satisfying being able to utilize these bits and pieces and find a spot for them in the albums. So let me just kind of set these aside for now, and we'll work on bringing in more layers behind these photos. I want to add the blue to the left-hand side, so I'm matting this one here. Sometimes it's fun to draw attention to certain photos by double matting them and adding kind of a pop of color around the outside. So they're all printed with a white border, but this one now has a double mat. I pulled this tag from the coordinating sticker sheet, and I really like that it has the scarlet red color on the top, so it kind of draws your eye all the way over to the left-hand side. And then we need to sneak in this little pop of shortbread just to kind of balance out the right page. I also have a stamp set from the Let's Go Anywhere card making workshop. This is exclusive to the card making kit, but it has this really cool compass in here that is the die cut along with some fun sayings. This one here says, "Let's explore together." And that die cut, you can either make a compass or a pocket watch, which I think is really cool. And I've already used it a couple times here on my channel. So let's go ahead and stamp this little sentiment here that says, "Let's explore together," onto some shortbread cardstock. I decided to go with black ink, and then I'm going to cut this out with one of my little decorative brackets. These photos were taken in Gustavus. It could be Gustavus. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that correctly, but we landed in, their little tiny airport, and then a shuttle bus came and picked us up to take us to Glacier Bay. And there really isn't a whole lot going on, so he just took us around and showed us like the little general store and took us to a coffee shop, the only coffee shop, and then he mentioned this plane. I have my "Let's explore together" sentiment, but I have a lot of room over here and it needs something. It needs a big impact. I went ahead and cut this geotag from toffee paper. I love to watch Dorothy over at Scrapbooking Quebec, and I got this idea from her. And the geotag is from the Let's Go Anywhere collection. Isn't the cover cute? That's my friend Jama and her husband, Chris. I think that's just such a great layout. So if you look at the digital art collection, this is a collection of SVGs, and there's a lot of great pieces in here, but there's a little geotags there, so you can make them any size you want. And you can see they've got a layout, some title options, airplanes, a little passport, all sorts of fun goodies. I decided to cut this in red, and I think you can see that really just kind of balances the layout with the addition of the red color rather than the toffee. I pulled some stickers from the sticker sheet. This one here says "is waiting." So now my title says "Adventure is waiting." And then I have the scenic route. And then this red one here stuck to my finger is actually like a little file tab. And maybe we can kind of put that right up top here. Looking at this design, I feel like it's a little heavy in the lower left corner, and we can do better. So this is exactly why I like to remove the adhesive from the back of my stickers, because I have the flexibility of moving them. I like to dry fit everything on the layout, kind of take it in all as one, and then make adjustments to better balance it. So I'm thinking that if we just flip-flop these, and then I'm going to layer this one over the top because we have more room in the bottom photos. We'll put our 3x4 down here. And then we can bring our adventure title up to this corner. So we're really kind of just reversed what we had, but then I can add these little elements down to the lower right corner. And now we have 3 points of interest on the layout. I should say interest as far as embellishments go, and they just help to not only tell the story, but also help to draw your eye around the layout. So I don't have room to go out sideways, so I'm going to kind of flip that one facing down, and then we could put this little red tag right back up top there. And I do like that better. I think it feels a little bit more comfortable. What if we matted this on blue? I do think that's going to look good. So I'm going to take that and cut a piece of blue cardstock. And I went ahead and sanded the edges to reveal that white core. If you don't like removing the adhesive, you can also just cut them out of the sticker sheet and leave the backing on until you're ready to adhere them. I've got a cute little red arrow so we can kind of frame in this photo down here. I am going to add one of these little colorful eyelets to my journaling tag here, and then also to the tag over on the left-hand side using my Crocodile. I'm making a big effort to use all the things, and then of course I'll be sad when I use them up. Hopefully I can find more like these, right? I did print my journaling on Avery clear sticker paper. I love this. I use it all the time. And yes, it is acid-free and non-yellowing. It does state that right on the website. So you can just run this through your printer and then adhere it down, and it kind of disappears into the background, letting that pattern paper show through. My journaling reads, multiple locals suggested we explore the wreckage of an old plane crash in Gustavus. It was almost kind of like their local claim to fame. The plane went down in 1957 on a snowy, foggy night. Some of the crew died, but there were 7 survivors. It was worth the short trek to the plane and very interesting to explore. Online, there is a much bigger story telling how the locals came to their rescue and all of the details surrounding the night. I'm going to slide this up underneath my photo block. I love to have all of my elements kind of touching and nestled together. And then I did pull one more sticker from the sticker sheet in red. It says, let's go anywhere. So we're going to tuck that right there. And then I do want to tape this down here. So I'll just add a little bit of my tape runner right to the back side of my tag there. The Let's Go Anywhere collection has these paperboard die cuts in both black and toffee. I know they're hard to see, but there's airplanes and arrows, additional titles and subtitles, and I think these are just really cool little elements. So I grabbed one of the black planes because it has a better contrast than the toffee against that red background. I think we need a little something down here. I cut a strip of this blue pattern paper, and I'm going to put a dovetail in the end. I was standing back looking at it, and I felt like the layout was just missing a little something. I like it as is, and you could definitely do without this step, but I kind of feel like this is going to be the missing piece. Let me know what you think. So we're going to give the illusion of this banner running all the way across the layout from right to left. And so what I'm doing is sneaking in some pieces here. We can just utilize scraps because, no sense in hiding that behind the photos where you can't see it. I'm using the measurements on my VersaMat to make sure I'm at the same level all the way across here. I think this is just kind of the visual anchor that was missing. So we'll add one tiny little piece over on the right-hand side. And yeah, I like it. So let me hold this up so you can take in the details there. And I, of course, will have still shots over on my Facebook, Pinterest, or Instagram account. Isn't that big geotag cool? Dorothy actually had hers bigger and she had a photo in it. So I might try that on a future layout too. I have so many ideas planned for this paper collection, so if you want to see more of the Let's Go Anywhere used for travel and outdoor layouts, then definitely hit that subscribe button because you aren't going to want to miss out on that. Thank you guys so much for watching. It means the world to me, and I love reading your comments and spending time with you. So you can find everything in the description box below, and I will see you very soon here on YouTube.